let's continue, man. It says, and the whole righteous nation was troubled, fearing their own evils, and were made ready to perish. This is an addition to Esther 11, verse 9. Let's get verse 10. Then they cried unto Yahweh, and upon their cry, as it were from a little fountain, was made a great flood, even much water. Con. Let's get it, man. Because it gets better, man. It gets better. Let's get it. Let's see. It's Ecclesiasticus, better known as Sirach 21, in verse 11. Now, verse 10. The way of sinners is made plain with the stones, but at the end thereof is a pit of hell. He that keepeth the law of the Lord getteth the understanding thereof, and the perfection of the fear of the Lord is wisdom, man. And what is that? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom and knowledge, right? Let's get that, actually. That's not the one I want. It's like, yeah, this. That's good enough. Let's get it. Proverbs 9 and 10, man. It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding, man. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. Okay? So basically, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom and knowledge, man. Now let's get back to the point, man. I don't want to get too sidetracked. Let's get it. This is beautiful, man. Let's see. Let me go back to 10. This is Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 21 and 10. The way of sinners is made plain with the stone, but at the end thereof is the pit of hell. He that keepeth the law of the Lord getteth the understanding thereof, and the perfection of the fear of the Lord is wisdom. He that is not wise will not be taught, but there is a wisdom which multiplieth bitterness. One second. But there is a wisdom which multiplieth bitterness. You see what I'm saying? And that's the wisdom of this world, man. It multiplies bitterness, man. Because it's the opposite of basically what the Lord wants, man. 1 Timothy 6 and I believe it's 20, man. Basically, beware of the science falsely so called. That science would be, science goes back to scientia, which basically means to know or knowledge, man. And that's the knowledge of this world, man. And it multiplies bitterness, man. You see what I'm saying? And not the knowledge of this world multiplies bitterness. It's that science, man. That new science, man. And so to speak, that's one aspect of it, but there's many other aspects to it. But yeah, that's just an example, man. And they go into these ways of carnality and completely ignore the spiritual. But let's go down further, man, because it gets beautiful, man. It says, the knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood, and his counsel is like a pure fountain of life. You see? So the knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood, man. And what is the wisdom, man? The wisdom that we have is from the fear of the Lord, man. And the wisdom that he gives us, man. It abounds like a flood, man. And that flood is going to flood this earth, man. Spiritually, man. Not physically, man. Because he said that he wouldn't do that again, so he's not, man. But spiritually, yeah, we're flooding this earth, man, with the knowledge of Yahweh, Salakia, of the Lord, man. YAHAWASHI, man. And that's going to cause, for us, it's beautiful, man, because it's life to us, man. It's a fountain of life to us, but to the world, man, it's death to them, man. You see? Let's go down a little bit further. Verse 15, if a skillful man hear a wise word, he will commend it and add unto it. But as soon as one of no understanding heareth it, it displeaseth him, and he casteth it behind his back, man. So, let's see. Yeah, that's what I wanted right there. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, this is basically my point there. It's good to us and it's bad to them, man. But who gives a fuck about them, man? So to speak, man. I mean, just straight up, man. It's not even really about what we want either, man. Because we take L's in this too, you know. But hey, man, the Lord, he set it up perfectly, you know. So they'll cast it behind them, and if it's behind them, guess what? They can't see it, man. So it's gonna come to them as a thief in the night, man. You see what I'm saying? Let's get it, man. So this knowledge is like a flood, man. Well, let's get it, man. Because it gets a little bit more beautiful, man. This is Ecclesiasticus 47 and verse 14. How wise was thou in thy youth, and as a flood filled with understanding, man. So let's just get up a little bit first so you can get some understanding, man. After him rose up a wise son, and for his sake he dwelt at large. Solomon reigned in a peaceable time, and he was honored, for Yahweh made all quiet round about him, that he may build a house in name, and prepared his sanctuary forever. How wise was thou in thy youth, and as a flood filled with understanding, man. So yeah, that we're as a flood, man. You see what I'm saying? Filled with understanding, man. And as we wake up across the four corners of the earth, man, it brings this place down, you see? Whether they want to acknowledge it or not, you know? It says, thy soul, it gets more beautiful, man. It says, thy soul covered the whole earth, and thou filledest it with dark parables. You see what I'm saying? That's that parables and riddles, man. And who is Solomon? We already know that Solomon was YAHAWASHI, man. See what I'm saying? Thy soul covered the whole earth, and thou filledest with dark parables. Thy name went from far unto the islands, and for thy peace thou was beloved, man. The countries marvel at thee for thy songs and proverbs and parables and interpretations, man. And guess what? Who picked it up, man? Only the elect or the prophets can understand them, man. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So it was a flood that basically went out through the four corners of the earth, man. And it's in parables and riddles, so everybody can basically put their spin on it, but they wouldn't understand it. Only the elect will understand it, man. And that's what's happening now. You see what I'm saying? Let's get it, man. Because it gets more beautiful, man. Let's just get this because it's going to tie into the whole point of the topic, man. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms and of war, of evil and of pestilence, man. You see what I'm saying? It said, there we go, man. So this is what's happening right now, man. And this is that flood, man. And people don't want to acknowledge that these things are going to come to pass, man. Let's get it, man. And this I'm going to get this. I'm going to close it out, man. And this is Mark 4 and verse 9. And he said it unto them, He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12 asked of him the parable. And he said unto them, Unto you is it given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Yahweh. But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables, man. So that's why he spoke to them in parables, man. See what I'm saying? And then he goes to the wheats and the tares, man. And then he also goes into the building of the house on the stony ground and things like that, man. But yeah, that's what I wanted to get, man. See what I'm saying? So this truth, man, is that flood, man. It's that parables and riddles that we were able to pick up, man. And we're deciphering it, and it's causing the waters to rise, man. And as they're rising, man, people have to make split decisions, man. There's no straddling the fence, you see what I'm saying? But then the end comes, man. So yeah, but yeah, hopefully that was edifying, you know. Of course, I want to give our praise, our glory, and honor to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, you know. Double honor to your apostle, Elder GreatMillstone, who will well. Shalom, YAHAWAH, Shalom, YAHAWAH, to you, hopeful like just pushing the truth out the brokers of the earth, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, keep on pushing, man. Keep flooding this truth, man. Throughout the brokers of the earth, man, until this shit falls, man. Which is not that long, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is, man. Yep. With that, yeah, shalom, yo.